left him a message, but he said
Your friends.
Okay.
Well,
All right, well, we'll hold this for Mr. Schwartz, right? His office.
Tom will be here to cover.
yeah, he usually would.
What's his name?
Yeah, Anthony Bruno.
Okay, so this will just put on the side,
As far as
Michelle.
I know it.
What are
I'll go
all
over to
these?
his office and
Oh, cool.
domestic traffic, yeah, okay, we don't.
Miss Patrice would like this one.
That's,
Instead of saying pretrial release, it says supervision.
Yep.
Okay, let me see what I have here. Okay. Okay. All right, good morning, everybody. You are in First Appearance Court, Magistrate Court. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. Today, hold on. Is it unlocked? Okay. Today.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Romero?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Nice to see you again. Okay, folks, today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything is being electronically recorded. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero, who's from the Public Defender's Office at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right, who's in the courtroom. If you have a private attorney, please raise your hand and let me know if you are in the main jail. Anybody have a private attorney in the main jail? Okay.
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Anybody have a private attorney in the main jail and someone to...
No, that was the gentleman that's going to be called up on the detox list, the municipal ordinance. I was letting him know that he's probably going to be the first person called up.
Okay.
But as far as privates, the people I spoke to so far didn't advise me they have privates, but I've only gotten to a couple, so I guess we'll find out.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have a private attorney at the main jail? Can you raise your hand? All right. Anybody need a Spanish interpreter, Mr. Romero, at the main jail? We can have Michelle pull them out.
Oh, I didn't get to him. I can ask.
Okay.
I'm being advised one person. ¿Qué es tu nombre? Israel, ¿quién? He's the first person on the docket, Judge. Israel Sifante.
Okay. All right. So you can just read Spanish interpreter. All right. Great. All right. So we're going to take a couple cases out of turn. First case is Richard Mackey, page 6 of a docket.
He's approaching, Judge. And this is, I believe, out of Hollywood Municipal Ordinance.
Good morning, Mr. Mackey. How are you today, sir?
Just fine, man.
All right. How you feeling?
You
You feeling okay? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charges of carrying an open container. Oh, excuse me. One is a trespass private property. You no-showed for arraignment on all of these, sir. Do you have a place to live, sir?
No, I don't.
Have you ever heard of a central receiving center at Henderson? Would you like to find a place to live?
Yes, I would.
All right. Well, this is what we can do. We have to address what you want to do with these charges today if you want to try to resolve them. If you do want to resolve your case today, the court will do a adjudication and time served on the 6 cases, and the court will impose court costs of $78. However, you are entitled to be represented by an attorney if you cannot afford one, and there is one, Mr. Shade, that you can speak to, and you don't have to admit to the charge today. There's also the Central Receiving Center, sir, which we can have you transported from the main jail if you want to go there. Can you hear me okay? Or is it too loud? Can you hear me okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if you want to go over to the Central Receiving Center, the court will ROR you on all counts, but you'll have to show up for court, and they'll help you get over there if you tell them that you need help with getting over there. They will, try to help you find a place to live. You can stay there for up to 23 hours, and after 23 hours, more likely than not, they'll have a place where you can go and sleep for the night instead of, being homeless, okay? Is that something you want to do, sir?
Yes.
All right, so this is what the court's gonna do. The court is going to, on counts 1 through 6, ROR him. And is he have Steve Shade appointed already? I should have asked that. Sir, do you get your mail at 6028 Johnson Street, Hollywood, Florida?
2020 Scott Street.
Do you have an attorney? You gonna hire your own, or do you wanna publish this out? Sign with the access, this is the vote for Frank Amendment.
All right, can we do an order for him to release tonight by 9 p.m.? All right, sir. Huh? I have no idea. Madam Clerk, do we have a docket? Thank you so much. Here you go.
Thank you.
All right, sir, so the court's gonna ROR you. I'm gonna update your address on all your cases here. Sorry about that. 6 different cases. Yes, Hollywood. Here you go. So, sir, you're gonna have to show up to court on all these cases, okay? So we'll have you transported to the receiving center. I'll have your mail go to 2020 Scott Street. It's your responsibility, though, to find out when your court date is and ask them to help you, to show you how you can go either to a public library, come to the clerk of the court, or some other means for you to find out how to, find out about your court date. Mr. Romero, can you do me the favor and give him Mr. Shade's telephone number?
Yes, Judge, hold on one second.
Do you have a card there for Mr. Shade? I can get some for you and ask Mr. Shade.
I don't have any of his cards, Judge, but I can write down his phone number for him.
Okay, 954
954
728
728
3477.
3477. Stephen Shade. Sir, this is the phone number of
We're
the
gonna
attorney.
point him on all 6 cases.
You can read my writing? Mm-hmm. Yes, sir? Yes. Okay, no problem.
They said it auto-populates, I don't have one. Michelle, can you look up 2020 Scott Street? No, it's a first person. Can I have this back for 1 minute? Thank you. Pardon? Yeah. All right, so we'll release him tonight by 9 p.m., okay, sir? Good luck to you. Don't forget to, it's your responsibility to look for your court dates, okay? Can't keep missing court. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, next one is Adam Engel, please.
Judge, I've been informed he bonded.
Okay, very well. That was page 7 of the docket. And then the next one is page 10 of the docket, Arthur Allman. Arthur Allman, please.
Alderman?
Good morning, Mr. Allman. How are you? Okay,
I'm sorry, I
sir.
had to mute my...
That's all right. All right, sir, you have, this is page 10. Sir, you have battery on an officer firefighter. We need to talk about bond, possession of valprazolam, which is also known as Xanax, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is resisting an officer with violence. We need to talk about bond. And count 4 is resisting an officer or obstructing without violence, $100 bond. The court does find probable cause. And the court does find probable cause on the one that we just did. What was his first person's name?
Mackey.
Mr. Mackey. Okay. All right, State, any priors?
I don't see anything local. I don't have him in my system to know if he has anything outside of Broward.
Okay. Pardon?
One moment, I'm checking. I think he does have prior in another state one. Forgive me, y'all, this is not prior.
Okay, that's fine. All right, State, what's your recommendation on this?
Your Honor,
Court does have concerns, I'll tell you that he punched an officer in the face.
yes, Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $2,500 bond on count one, $500 bond on count three, based on the level of violence alleged.
Okay, defense?
Judge, I'm okay with the $500 bond on count three. What I'm gonna be asking on count one is a $1,500 bond. He's 22 years old at this time. He's residing at a facility called Road to Recovery. And he's trying to get help for the addiction he's fighting, Judge. Right now, that facility is paid through by his father's insurance. He did give me the phone number of his father, who I intend on contacting after court to advise him that he was arrested and to please post his monetary bond. He also gave me the phone number of his sister that could potentially help. Having said that, Judge, Mr. Alaman is not working right now, but I would be asking you also to sign an order allowing us to photograph the injuries that Mr. Alaman sustained as a result of this incident. So, Judge, I believe my total request would be $1,500 for one, $1,000 on two, $500 on three, and an ROR on count four. So, if my math is correct, it would be a total of $3,000 on Mr. Alaman's behalf.
Okay, is his address 322 Southwest 14th Street, Apartment 2, Fort Lauderdale? Did you get the address for 2020 Scott Street? Okay.
Yes, that's the address of the facility, of Road to Recovery, where he's residing.
Okay. All right, are they gonna take him back there?
He advised me he believes so, yes.
Okay. All right, Madam Clerk, on this one, I think we have to do 6 different.
Well, I did that, so I can, copy it? Yes, and then
Okay.
I've got it. That's
Okay,
fine.
fine.
Case number.
No problem. All right, this is what the court's gonna do, $2,000 bond on one, $1,000 bond on two, $500 on three, and $100 on four. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is going to be Michael Rich, page 10 of the docket.
So Rich, come on up, please. He's approaching, Judge.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Rich. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm in a lot of pain this morning.
Okay, have you been able to seek medical attention at the jail?
I sort of kind of had surgery Monday on my lower back.
Okay.
So the best that they could do is what they're doing.
Okay. All right, have you seen somebody at the jail?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure. All right, sir, you're charged with 1 count, possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Count 2, possession of heroin, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is a probation violation, a no bond hold. Count 4 is a burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. And count 5 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000. The court does find probable cause for your violation of probation in front of Judge William Howery. You are going to court on July 10th at 8:30 a.m. Does anybody wish to be heard?
Yes,
He's
Your Honor.
only here for count 4 and 5 as the ad charge. He was already magistrated on count 1.
All right, well, I have 1 through 3. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you.
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $10,000 bond on count 4, noting that it was a residence that was allegedly broken into, and that he was on probation for grand theft auto at the time of this alleged offense.
When was counts 1 through 3 magistrated? I just want to put the date.
I believe yesterday he was arrested, yes.
So 6/19/18, okay.
Yes.
All right, defense. So we're just going on the burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed, and the grand theft. And I'll do a no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the 2 alleged victims with the initials LP and BA, just in case it wasn't done.
Thank you, Judge.
Defense?
Judge, and speaking, Mr. Rich, in 4 and 5, I believe, we're asking first as far as when's the date of incident and where's the alleged incident take place?
State?
Well, Your Honor, as far as when it allegedly occurred, it was April 28th of this year. As far as the location, I would ask that, that information can be obtained from Mr. Reedy. Asking that, the person's address not necessarily be broadcast over the internet.
Sure. Mr. Reedy's calling right now.
Thank you. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Thanks for that information. Judge, right now, Mr. Rich has been residing in South Florida his whole entire life. Unfortunately, at this time, he's not working. He was hurt on the job. He's collecting workman's comp, which is only about $500 per month. I do realize he's being held no bond on his VOP, so he's going to have to appear in front of his division judge anyway. So, Judge, we'd be asking you, considering Mr. Rich's financial resources, a $2,500 bond on count 4.
All right, this is what the court's gonna do. 10,000 on 4, 1,000 on 5. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. No victim contact, direct or indirect. Next one is going to be Densmore Daniels, please. Hello, Mr. Daniels, how are you?
How you doing, man?
All right, sir, you have 4 capious traffic cases and 1 capious felony. You do have a hearing that is gonna be set in Division MD, which is for your capious traffic. Does anybody hear an echo or something?
Yes.
I hear a little bit. So, capious traffic, you could have in Judge Solomon's division, it's gonna be set. And as far as the capious felony, it actually says no bond, not for magistrate. Anybody wish to be heard on the capiouses?
No, Judge.
All right, court's gonna leave the capiouses in effect. You'll be seeing your division judge soon, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is going to be Richard Hernandez. Oh, it says Richard. I have Richard. Is there a Melvin? Is there 2 Hernandez?
Henderson.
Who did you call, Judge?
I think I made a mistake. There's a Melvin Henderson. Page 6, what's page 16 of the docket? Because I have paperwork for Richard, but on the detox list, Sheila, it says Melvin.
Mr. Melvin Henderson is here, Judge.
Melvin Henderson, page 16.
Because there's a Richard Henderson on that page too?
No.
What's the charge?
Petty theft, false ID given to a Leo.
No, we gotta look for it, because I have Richard Hernandez, so this isn't that one.
They might have, because there is a Richard Hernandez, they might have attached the findings to the wrong booking.
Henderson, you mean?
No, it's Henderson, that's right. Okay. So I don't know where he goes, but, all right, Melvin Earl Henderson, sir, is that your name?
Yes.
All right, sorry about that, sir, with the confusion with the paperwork. You have 1 count of petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense, $750 bond. Count 2 is false ID given to a law enforcement officer, $100 bond. Count 3 is use anti-shopping control device countermeasure, $1,000 bond. Counts 4 and 5 are probation violations, you have no bond holds. And counts 6 and 7 are the same, violations of probation. You are going before your division judge, Judge Dennis Bailey and Judge Ari Porth. Dennis Bailey is on June 26th at 8:30, and Judge Ari Porth is June 25th at 8:30. So, what's today? So it's gonna be Friday, right? No, I'm sorry, Monday, next Monday and Tuesday, sir, at 8:30 a.m. Does anybody wish to be heard with regard to probable cause or the bond?
Yes, Your Honor, as to count 3, I would argue there is no probable cause. It appears to be a pair of scissors, not something specifically designed to defeat a anti-shoplifting device.
State?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, so there's no PC.
On count 3?
On count 3. So the court will ROR on 3. And what about counts 1 and 2? Anybody wish to be heard? Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return to the marshals located at 3852 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Deerfield Beach, Florida. Court's going to leave the bond in place unless I hear otherwise.
Is that just 3?
Which count one? That's the anti-shoplifting device, that's count 3 in which she found no probable cause. No, it's not dropped. Right now, the court hasn't found probable cause. The state can decide what to file.
Okay, sir, so there's no return to the marshals, 3852 West Hillsborough Boulevard. If you go back there, sir, you're going to be arrested. Counts 1 and 2, the bonds will be kept in place. Good luck to you, sir. Do we have any private attorneys? Hi. Oh, okay. Are you ready, or, okay. Pardon? Oh, okay. All right, fine. Elliot Watson, please. Page 17 of the docket.
Mr. Watson, it's your presentation.
Good morning, Mr. Watson. How are you, sir?
Doing all right, ma'am, and yourself?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for asking. Sir, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. Court does, the bond is set at $1,000. State?
One moment now.
Sir, while the state's doing that, the court's going to order no return to the target at 11253 Pines Boulevard. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm showing that Mr. Watson is currently out right now on 2 separate felony cases for grand theft.
Okay.
One with a battery in possession of cannabis, the other with resisting without violence in possession of cannabis. He has a resisting with violence depriving an officer of a weapon or communications device in 2013. He violated probation. Possession of oxycodone with intent to sell or distribute in 2011 with the violation of probation. End of record.
Okay. Sir, do you have a place where you live?
Yes.
What's
It's
your-
like I'm from place to place right now.
Where do you get your mail?
Where I get my mail, I was at my mother's house, but she just moved.
Okay. All right, do you know her new address?
No, but I can get it, but
Okay, sir, once you get released from jail, it's your responsibility, I'm gonna put in here, to notify the public defender's office, or for you to go to the clerk of the court and update your address with your case number. You can go to browardclerk.org to get your case number, okay?
all right.
Or actually, I'll do that within 7 days.
All right, so I can do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can your client afford the $1,000 bond?
Yes, he's gonna be, contacting friends and family to post his bond,
All
Judge.
right, great. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you, okay?
I
Look out for
appreciate
your
it, ma'am,
court
so
date.
much.
You're welcome. All right. Dennis Schimmelpeng, Peneg.
Mr. Dennis Schimmel, Finale?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you this morning?
All right, fine, thanks for asking. Sir, you have a petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense. They're charging it as a felony. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return, sir, to the Dollar General Store, 2797 North Andrews Avenue, Wilton Manors, Florida. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, unfortunately, Mr. Schimmel Finale is homeless. At this time, he has nobody to help post his monetary bond. Considering this is a non-violent offense, Judge, we'd be asking you to consider releasing Mr. Schimmel Finale on pretrial release, Judge.
Your Honor, this is his third theft in Broward in the past 3 months. Prior to that, he has an extremely lengthy history of the state of Michigan involving multiple theft-related priors.
Okay, give me one moment. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, what'd you say? Oh, for Judge Zeller? Okay, no problem. There you go. That's no problem. All right, I'm sorry. So, Mr. Romero, you're asking for pretrial release? I'm sorry.
Correct, Judge.
So he has 2 pending cases, or he
No, he
pled them out?
resolved the thefts that he got picked up on in the past.
Did he fail to appear?
One moment, Judge. On the first one, he was placed on pretrial, and then when he got arrested in the second one, there was a warrant for violating pretrial on the
Okay, I get it.
original.
All right, what's your address, sir, where you're gonna get notice of your court date? You have an
Well,
address?
I have my Michigan address that my brother have a house that last time it goes there to the mail, and I keep in contact with him with my phone.
Is that the Vassar Street,
Yes,
2807 Vassar Street,
2807, correct, ma'am.
Dearborn, Michigan?
Yes.
All right, sir, Mr. Romero will explain to you, I am gonna put you on standard pretrial supervision. You have to report
Okay.
within 24 hours of your release. If you get a new charge, probably get a no bond hold or something, okay?
I understand.
So don't
Thank
go
you, Your
out and
Honor.
commit any new crimes.
Okay.
All right.
As the judge said, you're gonna be released on
ROR as
pre-
probable
you
cause,
get
ROR,
released,
no return, sir, to
I
the,
know, if you don't report, you're gonna get a warrant issued for your arrest. Okay. Judge, I just explained to him, just like you advised me to.
okay, no return to the Dollar General Store. And he's also, if he gets a new offense, his pretrial is probably gonna be revoked, okay?
That is correct, sir. Okay, I understand.
Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
Our Spanish interpreter is here, Judge.
Okay. All right, let me just finish with the couple that I have. Dale Lee Lenore, page 18.
Mr. Lenore, come on up, please.
Mr. Lenore, how are you today, sir?
Okay, Your Honor.
You know, Mr. Reedy, I think Mr. Romero asked you to do a photo order or something on someone, or a phone order? It was earlier today.
Did you ask for a photo order earlier today, Hector?
Let me go back and look through my notes. Yes, on Mr. Arthur Allemon on page 10 of photo order.
I think you were on the phone
you,
with
Judge.
Mr. Schwartzwright's office. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, Mr. Lenore, sorry about that. You have aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. We need to talk about bond. Court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no victim contact, and I want everybody to listen up. No victim contact, direct or indirect, means no contact in person, calling, texting, writing, anything on social media, and no contact through third parties. In your case, Mr. Lenore, it's with a Kevin Gardner. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right. If you do have contact with him, sir, you probably have possibility of another charge and your bond being revoked. All right. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to bond? We'll start with the state.
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond. He's currently on release before Judge Merrigan from a 2015 battery on an emergency medical tech and assault on an emergency medical tech. He's been classified as a habitual offender in that case. In the late 90s, he was convicted on three separate counts of battery on a law enforcement officer out of Pasco County, sentenced to a year and 3 months state prison. In 1991, on a date, he was convicted of attempted second-degree murder, sentenced to 22 years state prison, and was released in 2013.
Okay.
Judge, respectfully speaking, Mr. Lenore, he's not going to be able to come up with the bond that the state suggested. Some of the priors that the state was reading off is quite dated, probably over like 20 years ago. Judge, he's 47 years old, been living here in South Florida his whole life. He's on disability at this time. He lives in Miami Gardens with his mother. His mother is a person that, the phone number that he gave me to contact, she's elderly, she's on a fixed income, she gets Social Security, she gets about, I believe somewhere around the neighborhood, $700 a month. Financially, he believes if she goes through a bondsman, maybe she can come up with $2,000. That's what we're going to be asking for. Also, as you can see from the injuries that Mr. Lenore sustained, I'm going to be requesting a photo order. And Judge, I did advise him he will have his day in court, but he is looking forward to having his day in court and fighting these allegations. And he was defending himself, Judge. So at this time, we'd be asking you for a $2,000 bond.
It does say here at that time the defendant defended himself by punching the offender multiple
Your Honor,
times. So this is mutual combat, or?
Your Honor, I believe that's a Scrivener's error, because as it reads, the sentence before the victim then stated the offender walked across the street, retrieved a knife and came back to the mass transit terminal and swung the knife at the victim, causing a minor laceration. At that time, and I know it says the defendant, but based on how it's being written, why would the defendant be defending himself when the allegation is the defendant's the one that took the knife? And also I would note that multiple subjects determined on themselves that it was Mr. Lenore who they needed to restrain.
Okay, sir, your address is 4960 Northwest 179th Street, Miami, Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where you reside, or is that your mailing address?
That's where I reside.
All right, this is what the court's going to do. The court is going to set bond at $5,000 on count 1, no victim contact, direct or indirect. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. Okay, next one is going to be Mr. Ronald Robillard, please, page 19 of the docket.
Robillard, come on up, please.
Mr. Robillard, good morning, sir. You have robbery with a weapon. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return, sir, to the CVS at 3 Southwest 26th Ave, Pompano Beach, Florida, and you're to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case, which is Ronaldo Perez. Do you understand, sir?
You understand no contact? Yes, ma'am.
All right. State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $25,000 bond on the first degree felony where Mr. Robillard allegedly threatened to shoot the store employee to committing the robbery. Mr. Robillard pled out a felony theft 5 days prior to this incident. He also has a theft that he pled out mid-April of this year and was sentenced to 90 days in county jail. We can check the status of another case.
There you go, thank you.
He has a felony theft in 2017, a misdemeanor case with 3 counts of theft in 2017, theft 2017, strong arm robbery and felony battery in 09, carrying concealed firearm in 06, 2 counts of burglary of a conveyance resisting without violence in 06, carrying a weapon openly in 05.
Judge, in reading this probable cause affidavit, there's no weapon here. It says that he
Reached
into his waistband and told the victim he would shoot him, but there was no gun, there was no weapon. I don't know that there's probable cause. I would argue that there is not probable cause for robbery with a weapon. There might be an assault, there might be a theft, but I don't believe there's robbery with a weapon when there is no weapon.
There's probable cause for the victim to take him at his word. He didn't just threaten to shoot him, he intimated that he had a firearm.
Okay, the court does keeps its prior ruling of probable cause. I did initially see that. So defense, what say you with regard to bond?
Judge, and speaking Mr. Robillard, he's 34 years old and living here in South Florida his whole life. At this time, he's not working. He gets disability. He lives in Deerfield Beach. He lives with his father. Been living at his residence for his whole life. His father is retired. That's the person who's going to contact to help post monetary bond. His share of the rent is $600 per month. Judge, I'd ask you for a $2,500 bond on count 1. Judge, and I'd also ask you to take into account what my colleague stated as far as for mitigation purposes. So a $2,500 bond, we believe, in this situation, Judge.
Okay, based on the totality of the circumstances, court does have a concern that he told the victim he would shoot him, and the victim advised he was in fear. Court is going to set bond at $5,000 on count 1. Court is going to do GPS level 2.
Yes, Judge.
And no return, sir, to the CVS located at 3 Southwest 26th Ave, Pompano Beach, Florida. No victim contact, direct or indirect. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, well, then we have Jason Knowles.
He's here present, Judge.
Page
At Maine, he
19
provides
of the
the services
docket.
of public defender.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Knowles, you have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 2 is possession with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver cannabis. The court does find probable cause. Can you afford the $1,100 bond, sir?
Mr. Harper?
I'm gonna try, ma'am.
All right, is your address 3040 Southwest 7th Street, Fort Lauderdale, Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So who are you going to call, sir? Do you have the phone number of the person you're going to call to try to bond out, or are you going to try to self-bond?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna try when I get back in.
Do you have the person's number, or is it in your phone?
It's in my phone. Everything in my phone.
Okay, so you don't know the phone number by heart?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Reedy, on Mr. Knowles, would you do the court the favor of just stamping an order for a phone order for him?
Mr. Knowles, is your phone in property?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be glad to do that, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Let's keep track
All right,
of this
thank you,
one.
ma'am.
You're welcome. See if he bonds out. All right, and then the last one on the detox list is Gary Hyde, please. Page 21 of the docket.
He's here present, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Hyde, how are you today, sir?
All right, ma'am.
All right, sir, you have petty theft, second degree, second offense, $100 bond. Counts 2 and 3, however, sir, are out-of-county holds for felonies. One is, they're both out of Palm Beach. One's a possession of heroin, a possession of cocaine. Court does find probable cause. Any objection to an ROR on the petty theft, state?
No.
All right, the court will ROR on the petty theft is your address, mailing address for court purposes, 300 Northwest 11th Ave, Boynton Beach, sir?
Judge, and speaking to Mr. Hyde, we're right now talking. He appreciates the court RORing because I see he has 2 felony offenses, but he's wanting me to ask the court if you would consider resolving count 1, the misdemeanor petty theft.
Sure. Could you speak indicate to him that if he gets a third petty theft, yes?
Just so the court's aware, I don't have an offer in this case. This involved a taxi driver, and there's gonna be restitution issues.
Okay, court's not gonna resolve it today. Court will keep the ROR, and is this his address that I just read off, or do you need me to read it again? 300 Northwest 11th Ave, Boynton Beach,
That's
Florida?
not my address.
Okay, that's not your address. What is the address where you can get, notices from the
I
court?
gotta talk to my family, like, cause I'm moved out of Florida and everything. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get this OR, so when I go handle this, everything can be done. I can leave and go about my life.
Right.
If we want money for that, I told we were supposed to settle a civil law. But
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Romero, unfortunately, I'm not gonna resolve it today. I don't know what the restitution is. Unless, I don't have an objection to reserving restitution, but,
Your Honor, the concern there now is where will the notice even go to? I'm just
well, even if
requesting,
he was in a regular division, where would it go to?
what I'm saying is, Your Honor, is that you can appoint the public defender, it can be worked at a later date. You know, even if he can't, that should be there, they could possibly file a waiver of appearance. I just ask that it not be, you know.
All right, I'm gonna do an ROR. He needs to update his address. If he knows one, I'll be gladly put it down. If not, then he needs to update his address. And
Judge, he's advised me the address on his ID, I believe is 300 Northwest. He can go ahead and receive, notification through that address.
11th Ave, Boynton Beach.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
All right, sir, if you change your address, it's your responsibility to notify the clerk, okay? Okay. Spanish interpreter, is he still here or no? Okay, let's just get, because I believe we just have one, so, and then I'll take you guys, okay? Sorry about that. All right. Raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to translate from Spanish to English, English to Spanish to the best of your ability? Okay. Spell your last name.
ROTAS.
Thank you. All right, are you Israel Ecamendia Safante?
Over the noise, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, what page is he on the docket?
Page 1.
Okay, are you Israel Ecamendia Safante, sir?
Israel Ecamendia Safante. ¿Es
We
usted?
could hardly hear the interpreter.
Usted es
Yeah, I know there's a
Israel
problem with this mic. We asked
Ecamendia
Craig to fix
Safante.
it, but.
Israel Sifonte Echemendia.
Israel Sifonte Echeverria.
Okay, sir, you have an out-of-state hold for a felony. You will be going to extradition court
Bien, usted,
on
señor,
Tuesday or Thursday at 1 p.m. if you haven't gone already.
tiene una orden de arresto pendiente de otro estado. Could you repeat the offense, Your Honor?
It says out-of-state hold for a
Oh.
felony out
Bueno,
of,
por
out
un
of
delito.
Colorado.
Por un delito mayor del estado de Colorado, usted va a ir va a comparecer ante el Tribunal de Extradición el jueves.
It actually says dangerous drugs, cultivation of marijuana.
Dice cultivo de marihuana, drogas peligrosas.
Okay. No bond hold, sir.
Yes,
Thank you. Good luck to
No hay
you.
fianza, buena suerte.
All right, this can
Is that all
hold.
for the
Okay.
Spanish, Your Honor?
Anybody else need a Spanish interpreter at North?
Not at Maine, Judge.
Okay, thank you. North Broward, anybody need a Spanish interpreter?
No one I spoke to, Judge.
All right, anybody at Conti?
No, Your Honor.
Hello, how are you?
Hello there.
Nice to see you.
Likewise, thank you.
Okay, Paul Ryan, anybody need a Spanish interpreter? Okay, if we need one, we'll give you a call if one slipped through the cracks. Thank you. All right, gentlemen, you are here on Shannon Lamos, page 4 of the docket.
Good morning, Judge. Anthony Bruno on her behalf.
Okay,
Peter Schoenthal as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Peter Schoenthal as well.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Richard Sherman on behalf of the Office of Statewide Prosecution.
Let's get the defendant first.
Okay.
Shannon Lamos, please. I believe she's at, you said North Broward?
Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, good morning, Miss Lamos. How are you?
I'm hanging in.
Okay. All right, counsel, because your client wasn't here, can you announce your name for the record again?
Anthony Bruno.
And
Okay.
Peter Schoenthal.
All right.
Morning, Your Honor. Richard Sherman from the Office of Attorney General, Division of Statewide Prosecution.
Hello. All right, ma'am, you have trafficking in oxycodone between 7 and 14 grams, no bond hold, and count 2 is trafficking in oxycodone between 25 and 100 grams, there's no bond hold, and count 3 is the same thing, trafficking in oxycodone between 25 and 100 grams. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state, and I have with me Detective Frank Sanchez from the BSO. This
Hi.
is a joint operation with the DEA.
Okay.
And at the time of the defendant's arrest, a search warrant was executed, so we anticipate additional charges. But at this time, we're asking for the court to order a $100,000 bond for count 1 with Nebia, with full collateralization of Nebia and an ankle monitor.
Okay.
For count 2, we're asking for $200,000 bond with the same conditions, and count 3, a $200,000 bond with the same conditions.
Okay.
And Your Honor, as a result of the search warrant, this is a case where the defendant was, there's probable cause that the defendant obtained the drugs from her mom, who's a pharmacist. The mom, at the time of the execution of the search warrant, gave a confession, and the search warrant netted over 100 kilograms of oxycodone in the defendant's bedroom. Grams, I'm sorry, grams. I apologize. That would fill up the room. Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Miss Lemos has lived in, she has no priors. She doesn't have significant means. She actually lives at home with her mother. She does work as a personal trainer and does promotional work for a gym. She would not be able to afford the bond that is being requested by the state. We would be requesting something in the neighborhood of $25,000. If Your Honor would be inclined to do that, she would be able to post that amount. Additionally, we would be objecting to a Nebia hold based upon Cassiano versus State, which is out of the 2nd DCA. At this point in time, there is no authority that goes against Cassiano versus State, and what Cassiano versus State holds is that pursuant to Article 1, Section 14 of the Florida Constitution, the only time a person can be held without bail is, someone is entitled to bail on a drug charge. Additionally, the only time someone can be held without it, because it's tantamount to holding them without bail, is if it's a capital offense or punishable by life. In this case, I don't think that's the situation. So we would just be seeking a straight cash bond, or not a cash bond, but a monetary bond. We would also be objecting to a monitor, but we understand Your Honor's concerns. But again, I don't think that she's a person of great means or even a flight risk, Your Honor. I think she will be here. She has no priors, and she was born here, I believe.
Okay. Hey, so tell me about your client's ties to the community and...
I mean, she lives with her mother. I don't think she has very much family around here. I know that her mother is a co-defendant in this case.
Is her mother on the docket today?
She is not on the docket.
She has not been arrested as of yet, but we anticipate an arrest forthcoming.
Okay.
I have spoken with her. She has, I guess she could go live with her mother's boyfriend or go live in her mother's boyfriend's house, and the mother's boyfriend would live at the mother's house. Or she has friends in the area that I plan on reaching out to as well. But in any event, I mean, if she's on a monitor, she's going to have to provide an address to pretrial. I think, and I'm not certain, but I do believe that the state was not imposing house arrest, but was just seeking a monitor so they would know where it was, Your Honor. And if that's the case, then okay, we're just trying to get her out, given that she's never been in custody before. So, I don't think she's a criminal mastermind. I think this was sort of a crime of opportunity here, and that's about it, Judge.
Your Honor, if I just may respond to the legal argument raised, I believe the court does have authority to inquire into the source of funds and order Nebbia in order to fully collateralized bond. And I would cite for that proposition Perino versus Bradshaw. It's a, so I'll give you the site. Oh,
I'm
so
familiar
nice.
with the case.
Okay.
Thank you.
And additionally, yeah, in terms of collateralization, she doesn't own any property. I think one thing, her asset is, I think she has a car in her name, but she doesn't own a house. She doesn't own, I mean, she works, and I know that she has a little bit of money in the bank, but that's about it.
All right, so this is what the court's gonna do. Court is gonna do a GPS level 2. Court is gonna, require a Nebbia hearing. Court is gonna do $10,000 on 1, $25,000 on 2, and $25,000 on 3. Anything else from anybody?
Your Honor, when, do you know when's the soonest we could get her in for a Nebbia hearing?
That you do before the division judge,
Okay, thank you, Judge.
okay?
And Your Honor, are you asking that it be fully collateralized?
Sure. And that's without prejudice, obviously, with the division judge, if they don't want it collateralized, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Mr. McLawrence, you're up. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Judge. Good morning. How are you?
Good,
Welcome back.
thank you. All right, Akiza Kade, or Cade.
She's in the main jail, Your Honor.
Okay. Page 2. Hello, ma'am. Are you Miss Cade? Or is it Kade?
Yes.
How do you say
Yes,
your last
ma'am.
name?
Kate,
Cade. Okay, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. All right, so we have a no-show to arraignment, possession of paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance, and petty theft. So Mr. Romero is on the petty theft, and Mr. McLawrence is on the paraphernalia and the controlled substance.
Yes, Judge. Judge, I believe I provided you with a notice of appearance in the municipal ordinance cases. As you can see from the allegations there, she was pulled over and she freely admitted to whatever it is that she had on her person. Your Honor, she told me she's unemployed. She just recently signed up for cosmetology school.
Okay.
She takes care of a 16-year-old, and she was inquiring if the court would be willing to resolve this matter. And if the court is willing to resolve this matter, I would ask if the court would withhold and take judicial notice of the time that she serves so that she doesn't lose her driving privileges.
Okay. All right, state, what say you on the petty theft? Or is it retail theft? Petty theft,
It is from 2012.
correct.
State's offer be a withhold.
Okay, so a withhold and court costs. So it would actually be a withhold on count 3, court costs of $293 on the theft and $78 on counts 1 and 2 each, since are they the same case? Oh, they're the same
The
case.
same case, Judge.
So $178 fee in court costs. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
yes,
All right, you want to resolve your 3 cases today, or your 3 charges?
yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Akiza Cade?
Akizia Kate, yes.
Okay. Ma'am, how do you wish to plead to possession of paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance, and petty theft, ma'am? Guilty, not
No
guilty?
contest.
No contest? You still want to take this plea, ma'am? Even though, if you get a second, on your 3rd theft charge, ma'am, You will be charged as a felony, even though it really is a misdemeanor charge. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you still want to go forward today?
Yes.
No one's forcing you to do this?
No.
You're not under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
We didn't hear you, Judge.
You're not under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
Okay, and considering everything, if you're not, if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this charge can result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States.
Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, despite all that, you still want to go forward and plead no contest to these 3 charges?
Yes.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. Court is going to do a withhold on all counts. Court will take on all counts judicial notice of the time that she has served in the Broward County Jail. $78 in court costs on count 1. Count 2 I don't need to do, and count 3 is $293 in court costs. You don't have to appear for your status hearing, ma'am, on July 16th. This case is done, except for you paying your court costs. Good luck to you. Thank you. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed.
Ms. Kate, you have to pay those court costs, because if you don't pay them within the time the judge gave you, the clerk's office will send a notice to DMV and they may suspend your license.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
And Judge, as far as the court cards you gave her on the 6 months to pay on count 3?
Sure.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Jermaine Lynch, please.
Judge, he's there in the main jail.
Okay.
Come on up, sir.
He's on page 7 of the docket.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
All right, sir, your attorney tells me he wants to resolve it, you said?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Where does he live?
Judge, Mr. Lynch is homeless. I've represented him before Judge Wren. I spoke with him this morning just to make sure that I would be comfortable with his competency level, and I'm comfortable going forward.
Does he have a pending case before Judge Wren?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay.
I discussed the Henderson Centralized Receiving Center with him. He told me that he already has a plan to go over to Archways to get some assistance.
That's good. Okay, perfect. All right. So, sir, you want to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Tell me your first and last name.
Jermaine Lynch.
Spell your last name for me, sir.
Lynch.
Okay, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, don't tell me what it is, but does your mental illness affect your ability to understand what's going on here today, sir?
No, ma'am.
Are you on any medications?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of his charge could result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States?
Yes.
All right. How do you wish to plead to the charge of trespass? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Court's going to do a withhold and court costs of $78. Court takes judicial notice of the time that he served in the Broward County Jail.
Okay.
So you have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, God bless. All right, man.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. McLawrence. Okay, now we're going to start with our regular docket, I guess. All right, Tia Laverne Beach, please.
North Broward Municipal Ordinance, Your Honor.
Okay. Hello, thank you. Hello, Miss Beach, how are you?
How are you?
Good. You have a capias, $200 bond. What are we doing with this case? Mr. Reedy?
A municipal ordinance, Your Honor.
Oh. All right, ma'am, you no-showed for arraignment.
Yes,
So, do you have a place to live?
I do at the moment. I turned myself in yesterday because Barnes wouldn't take me because of the warrant. I'm trying to get my son back. So the reason why I came in here to take care of the warrant, because Barnes is going to take me into treatment so I can start the process of getting my son back.
All right, do you have an address somewhere, a mailing address that we could use? Because there's no address to send you your
Yes,
court
ma'am.
dates.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
I can use 2020 Scott Street.
And if you're in Bark, then how are you going to find your mail there? Is there a way you can call them up?
Yes, ma'am, there is. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the court does want you to get treatment, ma'am. So the court's going to update your address to the 2020 Scott Street, Hollywood, Florida. In this case, I'm going to ROR you. You come back here again. You don't go to your court date. It's your responsibility, ma'am, to update your address and to find out when your court date is. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if you change your address, it's your responsibility to notify the clerk of court in writing with your case number and your full name of your new mailing address. Do you understand that as well? All right, you can also go to the public library and go to browardclerk.org and look up when your next court date is, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so court's gonna ROR you, and the court's gonna direct the clerk to update your address. Don't miss your next court date, ma'am.
I won't. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Kelly Mickelson, please.
Ms. Michelson is in North Broward. She'd like to resolve this case this morning if possible, Judge.
Hello, Miss Mickelson, how are you?
I'm okay, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Mickelson, you have prostitution. It's my understanding you want to resolve your case today.
I would like to, please.
Okay, you no-showed at arraignment on 4/25.
I was actually being released. I had a loitering where there was a sign posted, and I wasn't able to make it to court because I was released April 25th. So that's why I missed my court date.
All right, state?
State's offer be time served, HIV test. Receipt that the test was taken provided to the clerk's office within 30 days.
Oh, it's not, I thought we did it to the state attorney's office, no?
You can provide it to the state, that's fine.
No, I just,
No, I think you're right, that's fine.
I didn't know if you want me to change it, okay.
No, that's fine.
All right, ma'am, so there'll be adjudication and court costs of $293. You'd have to take an HIV test within the
Yes,
next,
ma'am.
within the next 14 days. And you'd have to
Okay.
provide a receipt, not your results, to the
Okay.
clerk of the court within 30 days. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, is that what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Put your hand down. Is your name Kelly Mickelson, Michelson?
Michelson, yes, it is.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
It's my understanding
That's
you wish
okay.
to waive your right to a trial, meaning give up your right to a trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications?
No, ma'am.
All right, you understand that you have to take an HIV test within 14 days and provide the receipt to the clerk of the court within 30 days?
Yes, I do. Now, is it okay if I take that test like at the Broward General and bring it to
Sure.
them? Because I just took one at Broward General actually 2 weeks ago. But,
State, what's your position on that? She took a test 2 weeks ago. This incident
but I will go
was
take another one.
hold on, this incident was
Yes, ma'am.
before 2 weeks ago, so.
That's fine, Judge.
All right, that's fine.
Bring it in?
Yeah, just bring in the receipt to the clerk of the
All
court,
right.
okay?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah,
All right. Thank
absolutely.
you
I
so
have no problem.
much.
She provides that receipt.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Court's gonna
Thank you.
find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea, adjudication, and court costs. HIV test within 14 days. You said you did one already. Receipt to the
Yes, ma'am.
clerk within 30 days. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yocasta Garcia, please. Hello.
It might be a medical loan, Judge.
Can anybody tell me if Yocasta Garcia?
It's, yes.
Okay. Melanie Marion Minor.
Medical reset.
She's a medical reset, Your Honor.
Okay. Stacy Marie Tyler, please.
Approaching, Your Honor.
Okay.
Next fixed account.
Hello, are you Stacy Tyler?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you have a petty theft between $100 and $300. Bond set at $100. It's actually a capias. Okay, they attached it twice. Okay, so there's just one capias for $100. Can you afford that bond, ma'am?
At this moment, no.
Ms. Tyler would like to resolve this if possible, Judge.
State?
State's offers a withhold court cost, no return to the Home Depot at 1951 South State Road 7 in West Park.
You understand that, Ms. Tyler?
Yes.
Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you explain? Okay, ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, put your hand down. Is your name Stacy Tyler, Tyler?
Yes.
All right, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to trial?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
You under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this charge can result in deportation?
Yes.
All right. Are you pregnant?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank
All right,
you.
ma'am.
That's
Did you
it.
speak to her, Mr., hold on. Did you speak to her, Mr. Reedy, about if she gets a third charge of a theft that's a misdemeanor, that it'll be charged as a felony?
I think I did, Judge, but just to be on the safe side, Ms. Tyler, you understand that if you get a third arrest for petty theft, it can be a felony petty theft and treated as a felony. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. You understand that you can't return to this Home Depot, ma'am. If you go there, they're gonna arrest you.
Yes.
All right. All
I get to
right.
go home?
Pardon?
I get to go home?
No, how do you wish to plead to petty theft, ma'am? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
You don't know?
I'm trying to best to go home.
Plea of no contest means you're not admitting that you did anything, but you're saying it's in your best interest to resolve the case this way. Do you want to plead no contest?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you understand. I don't want you pleading no contest just to get out of jail. If you want, I'll ROR you when you can come back and fight the charge and you can have a trial. Or do you want to resolve your case today? It's up to you.
Resolve it today?
Okay, so you want to plead no contest to petty theft, right?
Yes.
All right, the court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. Court's going to order, sentence her to a withhold and court costs $293. Ma'am, if you don't pay the $293, they're going to suspend your license, and thus that is another criminal offense. Do you understand?
How long I have to pay it?
I'll give you 6 months to pay, okay? You can pay it via the clerk of court, and you can make partial payments, all right? If you need an extension, just write your division judge, go to browardclerk.org and tell them you need an extension, but you don't want to get your driver's license suspended, all
So
right?
I'll be released and then I'll be able to make payments towards that?
Yes, okay?
Okay.
Court takes judicial notice of a time that Ms. Tyler served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Good luck to you with your baby. All right, let me just read this. Next one's gonna be Makisha Josephs.
Chief, what's that? Chief, the restroom there. Somebody's in there.
Judge Siegel, Judge.
Pardon, what'd you say?
Judge Siegel, Judge.
Okay, sorry, I was just reading this order someone handed me. Okay. All right, so let's reset it for 1 o'clock.
Can we reset her for tomorrow? She's on probation.
Why don't you call Judge Siegel's office and see if they want a magistrate on this today, if he's still there. It is 6348. Right here. Give me one moment. And just leave a message. All right, well, we'll reset it. Make a copy of that. We'll reset them for tomorrow. Kirsten, Leah Moore, please.
Medical reset, Judge. Now, you said, if I heard you correctly, Judge, Mishka Joseph's a reset for tomorrow, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
thank you.
what Sheila asked me. AM.
Yes, Judge.
Rosemary Mendez. Paul Ryan, I heard.
Yes.
Hello, are you Miss Mendez, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, how are you today, ma'am?
I'm good. You?
Very well, thank you. Ma'am, you have a possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, and you have operating without a valid DL. There's no bond attached to that, which is basically an ROR. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
Judge, I didn't get a chance to talk to Ms. Mendez. Can you afford a $1,000 bond, Ms. Mendez? Do
No, I can't.
you have anybody I can call to come get you?
I don't have nobody's number.
Where are the numbers?
They're on my phone, but the girl that was with me took my phone.
The what?
The girl that was with me, she took my phone.
Now, how long have you been living where you live now?
6 months.
Do you work?
No, I don't.
Do you collect any type of government assistance?
No.
Who do you live with?
My husband.
And is he going to be able to bond you out? You got
I don't have his
$100?
number.
You don't have his number?
No.
Judge, I'd ask you to consider pretrial release from Ms. Mendez. Seems to be the situation.
What's
where
her
she-
priors? Is your address, ma'am, 7370 Northwest 38th Street, Hollywood, Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you
Apartment
lived
two.
there approximately?
Approximately 8 months.
Okay.
Should have theft in 08.
All right, I'll tell you what, the court's gonna ROR her on count 1, count 2, we don't need to discuss. Thank you, ma'am, it's your responsibility to look for your court date. If you miss it, you'll have a warrant for your arrest. Thank you, good luck to
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Deputy Paul Ryan, is there only one other person there today?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is that?
It's Natasha Johnson, Judge. She's about 4 cases further down the docket.
Okay, let's call Natasha Johnson then. Hello, ma'am, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, ma'am, you have a grand theft auto.
I never got any. Go ahead.
Okay, it's actually a capias not in custody that was issued. The court does find probable cause. The court is going to order no return, ma'am, or contact with the Avis car rental car at 1625 Northwest 107th Ave, Doral, Florida. Do you understand?
Okay.
Can you afford the $1,000 bond?
No, unfortunately, I'm not able to. I'm not working at this time. I'm actually in transition.
Child has any criminal history. No, I didn't.
No, I apologize.
Okay, ma'am, is your address 5730 Southwest 62nd Street, Miami?
That is a previous address. I was living with my mom and I never got any notification. I have a P.O. box and I don't know, there's
Where's your
probably
physical address? Where do you live?
At this time, I don't have a physical address.
You live on the street?
No, I've been staying with my mom and from place to place for a couple months.
Can you get mail at your mother's house?
At a P.O. box, I have a P.O. box.
Okay.
Okay, give me the P.O. box.
P.O. Box 430683.
Hold on, 430, because I'm writing this down, 683.
Okay. Yes, Miami, Florida 33243. And that's usually where I get all my mail. It's usually forwarded, but I guess that information
All right,
wasn't
so it's P.O.
forwarded.
Box 430683, Miami, Florida, 33243.
Yes.
All right, what's your physical address of your mother's?
It's 1212 Northwest.
Pull this up.
I don't know I know part of it. It's 1212 Northwest. I'm not sure of the street, but it is Miami, Florida 33136. I just don't know the street.
All right, this is what the court's gonna do. Do you have your mother's number?
She does. I actually have her phone, and it's not working, and she doesn't answer it.
All right, well, court's gonna put you on standard pretrial release. Defendant is to provide her mother's home address to pretrial supervision within 5 business days of release. If you violate this condition, ma'am, you're gonna be back in jail, you understand?
Okay.
I want your mother's full address provided to
Okay.
pretrial supervision. All right?
Okay.
Okay, no return. So standard pretrial release, and LROR and clerk to update her address to this P.O. box. Thank you very much, ma'am. Good luck to you. Don't forget to
thank you.
update your address. You'll violate your
How do I
condition.
do that?
You're gonna have to tell pretrial services and meet them in person. You have to report within 24 hours of being released, yes? No return and no contact with the Avis rental car. They're actually out of, it's 1625 Northwest 17th Ave, Doral, Florida.
They're gonna give you a map, Miss Johnson, to tell you how to get to pretrial release, okay? It's down here, it's down across the street from the courthouse
You're
downtown
welcome.
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so
Ma'am.
there I have to.
Go ahead.
I have to go there within, 5 days in order to give them my mom's physical address?
No, you have to go there within 24 hours of your release from jail tomorrow morning. You have 5 days to get them your mom's address, so you may want to bring your mom's address with you when you go check in tomorrow.
Okay, so within
Or later on
24
this
hours.
afternoon if you get a chance.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Or later on this afternoon if you get a chance.
Okay,
If
so
you get out early enough.
give them my mom's physical address, okay?
Yes.
Okay. And
Okay.
then when I go there, I can update it with the P.O. box.
No, I updated your P.O. box address.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
want on the record where you're residing. That's it, okay?
Okay,
Thank you. Good
You're
luck to you,
welcome.
ma'am.
okay, thank you.
I didn't know if you wanted to write it on top or the receipt for tomorrow. Just
Oh, this is Judge, did you speak to Judge Siegel's office?
message.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, next one is going to be my Essie Perry.
She's here, President Manger. She is approaching.
Okay. Hello, Miss Perry. Good morning. How are you?
Hello.
All right, ma'am, you have petty theft, first degree, between $100 and $300. Basically an ROR. Count 2 is fraudulently uttering a false instrument, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Is your address, ma'am? 5671 Northeast 9th Ave, Oakland Park?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Miss Perry. Defense?
Judge, nothing to add. Her cousin's gonna be posting her bond.
Okay, perfect. Any no return anywhere? Let me just see. Okay, nothing from the state, then we'll leave the bond at 1,000. Thank you.
Good luck, ma'am.
Good luck, ma'am. Looking for your court date. Tanisha McGriff, please.
North Broward.
Okay. Hello, Miss McGriff. How are you? All right, ma'am. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Bond set at $1,000. The court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect. Is there alleged victim's name? State?
One moment, Judge. It appears this was just a target.
No, this is at the target, but is that it?
I believe so.
Let me see. I'm trying to find the address.
It's 11253 Pines Boulevard.
Pembroke Pines?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you are not to return to the target located at the address the state just stated at 11253. Did you hear that address?
Yes.
All right, you're not to return there. Mr. Reedy?
Yes, Your Honor, I don't believe Miss McGriff is going to be able to make $1,000 bond. By way of mitigation in the probable cause affidavit, it appears that she never went inside the store, although apparently she was driving the vehicle. She does have family here. She's lived here all her life. She can stay with her mom. She indicated to me she's had some prior contact with the criminal justice system. She also has a disability that unfortunately prevents her from working. So she has no money saved up, she has no bank account, and she has no job. So
How does she support herself?
she gets a check, Judge.
From where?
SSI. I'd be asking the court to consider pretrial release.
Okay, ROR, standard pretrial supervision. No return to the target, ma'am. Good luck to you. Don't miss your court date. If you return to target, you're gonna be arrested, okay?
When is the court date?
I don't know, ma'am. You're gonna either get it in the mail, or you can go to browardclerk.org and look it up.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. Syra Eden Massanello. Is this the same thing? Oh, this is Macy's.
His bond was
Posted?
his bond was
Okay. Mark Charles Denhart. Denhart?
Judge, Miss Sarah Massalino, bonded, Judge.
Yeah, I have that. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, though. Mark Charles Denhart, please.
Mr. Denhart is approaching, Judge.
Hello, Mr. Shade. How are you?
Hello, Judge, how are you?
Nice to see you.
See you.
I appointed you on 6 cases today.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
May I approach real quick?
Sure. All right, sir, give me 1 moment. We're gonna go off the record. Romero, we're gonna take a break for, 10 minutes, okay? Court's in recess for 10. Denhart, please? Yeah, we'll keep the paperwork just for now. Hello, Mr. Denhart, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, Mr. Denhart, you have a capious traffic for a driving while license is suspended. Bond is set at $500. This is a 2006 case. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ROR him. Sir, you need to get your driver's license, okay? Can you get it?
I've got the child support issue.
All right,
And I'm not
well,
work.
I'm gonna ROR you, sir. So you need to see what you can do. Maybe you can work something out. 860 Northeast 23rd Ave, Pompano Beach.
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Look for a court date in the mail, otherwise you'll be back here again. L.C. Marcelin, please.
Mr. Marston's here at Main, Judge, and he declined the service of public defender.
Okay, Mr. Marcelin, you have possession of cannabis, sir. You have a no bond hold from Judge Zeller. You have a court date coming up, June 26th, which is this Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Till that time, sir, you're going to be held no bond. Thank you. Good luck to you. Next one is Kywin Howard.
Mr. Howard's here at Main, Judge. Mr. President.
All right, Mr. Howard, good morning, sir. You have failure to register a motor vehicle. You have driving while license is suspended, first offense, $100 bond. And you have a writ of arrest for $280. It's a purge amount for child support signed by Judge Marilee Ehrlich on April 23rd, 2013. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to ROR you on count 2. Count 1, I don't need to do anything. Is your address 21306 Northwest 40th Circle Court,
Is that your address?
Miami Gardens?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it
Yes, ma'am.
Circle or Court?
40th Circle Court.
Okay, it is. All right, sir, good luck to you. Look for your court date. Thank you. You have your $280 you have to pay for child support, and you can bond out. Dwight Scarlett, please.
North Broward.
Dwight Scarlett, please, and then after that, we have Trent Shirley. Hello, Mr. Scarlett, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right, sir, you have a capious misdemeanor.
Yeah.
For a criminal mischief, you have a no bond hold. Was set by Judge Lerner Wren. And you have a warrant for a VOP pretrial misdemeanor. Signed May 31st by Judge Wren with a no bond hold. So maybe you can, all right, so you have a court date, July 16th at 2 p.m. Make a copy of this, see if they can get him in earlier, okay? So you're gonna have, you have 2 no bond holds, sir. Good luck to you. We'll contact Judge Wren's office and see if we can get you in there earlier, all right?
Judge, Mr. Scarlett did indicate to me he'd like to resolve these matters. I told him I did not think that that was possible.
Yeah, it is impossible today.
All right, Dwight, I'm gonna call your mom, okay? All right? Okay, good luck.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Trent Shirley, please.
Medical.
Tony was just magistrated. Just put FYI. Okay? B, Jermaine Allen, please.
Bonded.
Joshua Sargent, please.
I've been advised he's in court, Judge Court.
Says Judge Dennis Bailey. All right, maybe we can get him, let's reset him for this afternoon. Is he at main jail? Is that where he's being housed? Okay. All right, so let's set him for this afternoon, okay? Sergeant?
Shirley and Scarlett.
They told me, I forgot the name of the clerk, told me, they didn't want me writing medical reset on it. Tanya. I usually write it on the back, but since Judge Zeller did it. Hold on, let's go through it, because I don't want you to be. Shirley is a medical reset, right, everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Altador is downtown.
Yeah, and what about this person? Who's this? Okay. Michelle, did you write bonded on there?
Yes, you are.
She did? Okay.
I'm like, is there another one?
No, I just. Jacoby Hobbs, please.
Conti?
Jacoby Hobbs.
Jacoby, I'm sorry.
It's all
Sorry
right.
about that, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good.
All right, sir, you have an ad charge, manufacture, distribute, sell, etc., imitation drugs. Court does find probable cause. Bond is set at $750. Anybody wish to be heard? Mr. Reedy, you have an attorney here in the courtroom, sir.
No, Judge, I don't know that Mr. Hobbs can make a $750 bond.
What's going on with counts 1, 2, and 3?
That's what I'm checking right now.
He's got a no bond violation of probation hold for sale or delivery of cocaine and a $1,000 bond on a new possession of cocaine.
I'd ask the court to leave the bond where it is. He needs to go in front of his division judge.
All right. State, you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll leave the bond in place for division judge. All right, let me just confirm his address. It's 1569 Northwest 7th
Lane.
Place, Pompano Beach.
No, ma'am, Northwest 7th Lane.
All right, give me Northwest 7th Lane. Okay, start from the top. Give me the address again. I'm writing it down.
1569 Northwest 7th Lane, Pompano Beach, Florida.
What's the zip code, sir?
33060.
All right, I'm gonna change your address, or actually have the clerk change it, and we'll leave
Yes,
your
ma'am.
bond at $750, okay? You can
Yes,
ask
ma'am,
your
thank you.
division judge to lower it. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, you too. Thank you.
All right. Who do we have there?
The next person, Gene Francis.
Okay, are you Mr. Jep3 Gene Francis, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you have some ad charges as well. Count 18, burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed. Need to talk about bond, and count 16 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000. And count 17 is grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. State, what are you asking for on count 15, and enlighten me on counts 1 through 14?
He has numerous no bond juvenile holds,
He
Judge.
does, okay.
And on 1 through 4, he's got over $25,000 worth of bond plus GPS on his new offenses.
Okay.
I'm going to be requesting
Sir, does it sound pretty loud? How's the tone of my voice, deputy?
It sounds fine, yeah.
Okay.
in light of the bonds he's already being held on, Your Honor, I'm requesting a $10,000 bond on 15, considering it involved a home. and no victim contact, no return.
Okay, give me the victim's initials.
E.T. and, well, all the alleged victims are E.T., A.T.,
That's good. And
Just
no
wanna make sure
return to
we're
where?
honest.
Don't forget to look for this photo.
Looks like it would be 22 Northwest 40th Street in Oakland Park.
22 Northwest 40th Street in Oakland Park.
Yes, ma'am.
Is he on GPS or anything?
He is on counts 1 through 4. Those are the non-juvenile offenses.
All right, defense?
He's gonna have to go in front of his juvenile judge and resolve those matters. I'd ask for a $5,000 bond on count 15.
Okay, court's gonna do $10,000 bond on count 15. Count 16 and 17, the court's gonna do $999 on each one. No victim contacts are direct or indirect. Yes?
Excuse me on,
Don't talk about the facts of your case. Everything you say can and will be used against you. Everything's being recorded. So,
all right.
if you wanna talk about the bond or something like that, that's fine. But,
Yesterday I had went to see my juvenile judge, right? And I got a program, a juvenile
you got a what?
a juvenile program to go
Okay.
to. My bed is ready. But yesterday told me that I need to see my division judge for him to say yes.
He's
For my
got,
juvenile.
he has other pending new felony charges that are assigned to Judge Culver.
Okay, your division judge in adult court is Judge Kalra. So,
Yeah.
pardon?
I do not have a court date, miss.
Okay, so, Mr. Reedy,
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't know who his public defender is in Judge Kalra's division. So this is what we're gonna do, sir. Let me finish and tell you what I'm gonna do, and then I'll tell you about your next court date, what's gonna happen with that, okay? You're to have no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims in this case, with the initials ET and AT. That means no contact in person, calling, texting, writing, and nothing, no communication through third parties. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it also includes social media. You're not to return, sir, to 22 Northwest 40th Street, Oakland Park, Florida. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, court's gonna do a $10,000 bond, what I said previously, on count 15 and 16 and 17 are $999 each. GPS level 2 on count 15 only. As far as your court date, Mr. Reedy? Do you have a response for your client? Do you have
I
a
don't
que-
think we represent him. I don't see any open cases. The last case that I see,
How could he not be represented if he has pending cases in front of Judge Kalra?
It's not indicating in Odyssey that indigency paperwork was ever filled out.
All right, sir, you're gonna have to fill out paperwork to apply for the public defender.
Excuse me, man. I have my own lawyer.
Who's your lawyer?
My mom just signed me, like, just got him for me, so I don't really know who it is.
What's your mom's number?
954-851-5533. And the second number is 754-802-7891.
And what's your mom's name?
Ketley.
Spell it.
Ketly.
Okay.
Excuse me, man.
Yes,
You can call the second number, because
that's the one I'm calling. I had a feeling.
Please leave your message for 754-802-7891.
Yes, hi, Ms. Catley. This is Judge Malika calling from Broward County Magistrate Court. We were trying to find out your son's attorney's name. We are going to magistrate him, and you need to contact your son's attorney and have him file a notice of appearance. If not, he needs to fill out an application for the public defender's office. Thank you. All right, sir, so your mother wasn't there. I just left her a message that she is to have the attorney contact you at the jail, and if not, you have to file an application for the public defender. If you don't hear from, if you're not able to get in touch with your mother, you might want to fill out an application anyway, just to get the ball rolling until your attorney files a formal paper called a notice of appearance. Okay?
Excuse me, miss, I have one more question.
Sure.
Yesterday, told me that I got, the program is ready, but my juvenile judge told me that I got to see my adult judge first.
Yeah, this is only magistrate court today for these ad charges. You're gonna have to speak to your division judge, who's Judge Kalra, okay? So that's why it's important that you get in touch with your mother and find out if you have an attorney, but in the meantime, a private attorney. If not, you might want to apply for the public defender right away. Deputy Conti, is there an application he can fill out?
Judge, he refused to be interviewed by our office. And from all the indications I'm getting, he's hiring private counsel.
All right, if he doesn't.
There's no paperwork here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir, so if not, then go to the kiosk and ask for, or talk to your mother. Tell her to contact the public defender's office if she hasn't hired a private attorney, okay? Good luck to you, sir.
All right, man.
Thank you. Next one is Obsy Miller, please. Obsy Miller. Thank you. Mr. Romero, do you have a Mr. Obsy Miller there? Is there an Obsy Miller? Step up to the podium, please.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good, how are you, sir? You have count 1, burglary with assault or battery. There's no bond hold. Tampering in a misdemeanor proceeding. We have to talk about bond. And count 3 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard?
Your Honor, on count 1, I am going to be seeking no bond hold upon a finding of proof evident or presumption grade. And I know Your Honor has been instructed to handle these matters, but I just would know for the record it does appear that this is a domestic violence case in nature that was placed on our docket. I would be relying upon the probable cause affidavit, Your Honor.
So this should be in front of Judge Cohen?
Ultimately, if filed, it will be assigned to Judge Cohen. Your Honor, I can tell you the probable cause affidavit mentions that they have children in common. There has been previous cases involving the same parties that were assigned to Judge Cohen's FV division.
Okay. Okay, defense?
We would object to the court making a finding of proof evident presumption grade based on a probable cause affidavit. Proof evident presumption grade is the highest standard that we have in the criminal justice system. Probable cause affidavits are designed for one thing and one thing only, and that is to establish probable cause, which is the lowest standard that we have in the criminal justice system. The state's called no witnesses. They've produced no evidence. All they have done is introduce a document written by an officer to justify his arrest of Mr. Miller. I would ask the court not to make a finding of proof evident presumption grade based on the insufficiency of the state's presentation and set a bond for Mr. Miller. In the alternative, if the court does find proof evident presumption grade over the defense's objection, I would urge the court to exercise its discretion and set a bond for Mr. Miller. Either way.
Okay, and what about count 2? Depending on what I do, you want me to go ahead with count 1?
Judge, depending if you do impose a bond on count 1, we'd be asking you to consider setting a reasonable bond as to count 2. I'd ask you to take this into account. He's 35 years old, been here his whole life. He's self-employed. Whenever he can, he does carpentry. He works for somebody. He can make anywhere from $60 a week to $150 a week right now.
So I donate, I can go to CSL, and that adds to the 60, so it'll be about 120.
Having said that, Judge, he's just moved into a new residence in Fort Lauderdale. He's Right now, he doesn't know the address off the top of his head because he just basically moved in.
But I do have a lease.
All right, well, all right, this is what, let me, I jumped ahead a little bit. I've reviewed the probable cause affidavit, sir, filed in your case, and I find probable cause. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great. Therefore, on count one, you're gonna be held no bond until further order of the court. This is without prejudice, sir, for you to go before your division judge and seek a hearing under State v. Arthur. So count one is gonna be no bond, and that is without prejudice. You are to have no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case, with the initials CJF. Court does have a concern. It says that you're domestically related by having 5 children in common, which includes the child the victim is currently pregnant with.
Your Honor, if, I don't want to, but just before the court sets a bond, if I may have an opportunity to present some additional information.
I'm not setting bond on
I mean, on
count
count
one.
two.
Count two, okay. All right, so there's no victim contact, no contact, direct or indirect, and you are to maintain, sir, 1 mile from 2830 Northwest 55th Ave, Lauderhill, Florida, 33313. Court's also gonna do GPS. Oh, wait, I don't have to because it's no bond. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. On count two, I'm going to be requesting a $25,000 bond. Excuse me. The reason being, Mr. Miller was arrested for burglary of a dwelling with a battery, and in charge of burglary of a dwelling with battery and aggravated battery, July of last year against the same alleged victim. The charges were ultimately dropped, Your Honor, but I do want to advise the court the allegations involve that he broke into a residence, slammed her on the floor, causing her forehead to strike the tile floor. It caused a laceration to her forehead, approximately 5 to 6 inches in length, which required big stitches and staples to be closed. Additionally, she suffered a broken jaw.
And that's on the tampering in a misdemeanor
Yes, ma'am.
proceeding? You want a $25,000 bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And just so the court's, also advise the court, there was the same allegations in that case that Mr. Miller took her cell phone to prevent, excuse me, Your Honor, to prevent the alleged victim from contacting 911 for help.
Okay.
Judge, as far as the $25,000 bond, as you heard me recite Mr. Miller's financial resources, that's something he just simply can't afford. Right now, Judge, besides what he gets paid weekly, you heard as far as the low amount, his only asset is a 2003 Hyundai with approximately 200,000 miles on it. And from what he advised me, he probably thinks he maybe could get $1,500 for it. So, Judge, the $25,000 bond, which the state is just something financially out of reach for Mr. Miller.
Okay, well, based on Mr. Linder's statements of the level of violence, court is gonna set no bond on, that's in the totality of the circumstances, 25,000 on 2, no bond on count 1, count 3, the grand theft, court will set at $999. He's to have no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, CJF, GPS level 2, maintain 1 mile from 2830 Northwest 55th Ave, Lauderhill, Florida, and from any other place the victim may reside, work, or attend school. He's to maintain 1,000 feet away, minimum, from the victim. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
You want it on all 3, you said on all 3?
2, no, because he's on no bond on count 1.
So only count 2?
Count 2 only. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew Joel Moeller.
No problem. Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Moeller. How are you?
Doing all right.
All right, sir, you have 3 counts of burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. You need to talk about bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims in the case with the initials AS and HM. Do you understand? Do you understand what no contact, direct or indirect means?
Not entirely.
All right, that means no contact in person, calling, texting, writing, nothing through social media, and no contact through third parties, okay? No passing messages, nothing. No contact means no contact. State, what are you requesting for bond on count 1, and then we'll hear from your attorney, Mr. Moeller, who's in the courtroom here with me.
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting bonds in the amount of $1,500 on each count.
Okay, Mr. Reedy?
Judge, I'm going to ask the court to consider pretrial release for Mr. Moeller. He's been a resident all of his life. He does have family here. He's provided me with the phone number of his father. He's been living with his father for the last 2 years. Unfortunately, he
Any
has
objections?
Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense and that it was 3 separate burglaries committed in the same area in the same time frame, I am going to be requesting that some bond be imposed.
Can he pay any bond?
I would have to speak with his father, who I have not been able to reach. He cannot afford any bond himself.
How does he support himself?
He receives a disability, Judge. That prevents him from working.
All right, this is what the court's gonna do. On count 1, court will do $1,000 bond. Counts 2 and 3, the court will ROR. Standard pretrial supervision. He's to report within 24 hours.
Thank you, Judge. I'll call your father for you, Andrew, and hopefully he can come get you, okay?
Okay, so I'm kind of clear about how the $1,000 bond. Am I to be released today, or
If your father posts your bond, you'll be released.
Okay.
Okay?
All
And
right,
I'll give him a
sir,
call as
that
soon as court's
means-
over.
That means if you get a new offense and you're merely just charged as an allegation and probable cause is found for a new criminal offense, your pretrial supervision will be revoked most likely, okay? And you'll have a no bond hold or a much higher bond. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Earl Outlaw, please.
Medical reset.
So, did I only pay $100 video? All right.
All right, Richard Hernandez, please.
Sierra Main Judge approaching.
Hello, Mr. Hernandez, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, you have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. No bond attached to it. The court does find probable cause. Is your address 2413 Southwest 42nd Way, Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead,
Judge, I'm
Mr.
going to be
Romero.
asking you to consider releasing Mr. Hernandez, ROR, and the alternative on pretrial release. He's
Okay,
34
stay.
years.
Your Honor, I don't have an objection to that. I would request condition no alcohol intoxicants in testing based on his history. In 2015, he went through drug court for possession of PVP, oxycodone, alprazolam. 2009, possession of oxycodone and alprazolam. He went through drug court again.
All right, court's gonna ROR him, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joshua and Harper, please.
Mr. Harper is here present, Judge. Come on up, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Harper. You have a grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, Tracy Hatcha. Is that the victim state? 'Cause there's 2 names here.
One moment, Judge.
Yes, it's Tracy Hatcha, sir. No contact, direct or indirect, sir. It means no contact in person, calling, texting, writing. No contact on social media. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
Judge, I'm going to be asking Your Honor to consider an ROR on Mr. Harper's behalf. He has a DOC hold. He's been in custody for about 2 years. I believe the DOC hold is set to expire this Monday. He'll be released. He's going to be coming back to court, Judge. So, considering this is a 2-year-old case, he's been in custody this whole time. That's the reason why we're asking you to consider
What's
an
his
ROR.
address? 231 Southwest 3rd Ave, Delray?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting at a minimum that the $1,000 bond be kept in place. Frankly, a bond increase is probably appropriate. What he went to prison for in Palm Beach County was burglary of a structure, robbery by sudden snatching, and 2 separate grand thefts. At the age of 19, he has already been convicted of 8 felonies, 4 misdemeanors, and has been arrested on 5 prior failures to appear.
And Judge, I'm going to ask you either to ROR or to keep the bond in place. He's going to he's going to have his family contact. He's going to contact his family post his bond if Your Honor isn't inclined to ROR. What I'm hoping for
$1,000
is
bond, thank you.
yes, Judge.
Nicholas Macklin?
Mr. Macklin.
Judge on count 4.
He's approaching, Judge.
I have a new case number 14-11444. That's 34CF10A.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. I knew you were going to say that. All right, are you Mr. Macklin, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
All right. All right, sir, you have count 1, grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is operating without a valid DL, $25,000 bond. I'm sorry, $25 bond. Counts 4 and 5 are probation violations. I want to note on count 4, the correct case number is 14-11444 CF10A. He has 2 no bond holds. He is going before his division judge, Judge Howry, on July 10th at 8:30 a.m. Anybody wish to be heard on counts 1, 2, or 3?
No, Judge.
Considering there's no bond hold, no, Judge.
Okay, $9.99 on counts 1 and 2, $1 on count 3. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Hold on one moment. Oral Homey.
Mr. Oral Home, come on up, sir.
Hello, Mr. Oral Homey. How are you?
How you doing?
Did I say your last name right?
No.
How do you say it?
Oral home.
Oral Home. Okay, I apologize. Sir, you have count 1, fleeing or eluding Leo, which is a law enforcement officer at high speed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is attaching a registration license plate not assigned. It's basically an ROR, operating without a valid DL, same thing. And then counts 4 and 5 are actually not for magistrate. They're civil traffic infractions. Careless driving and expired motor vehicle registration over 6 months. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard? State, what are you requesting on count 1, or would you like me to?
No, Your Honor, based on the allegations, and he does have a substantial juvenile history, I'm requesting a $2,500 bond on count 1.
Okay. Okay, defense?
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Oral Home, he's not going to be able to come up with that. He just lost his job. He was working at Prestige Auto, car washing the vehicles, detailing the vehicles. He was getting paid about $200 weekly. Right now he is actively looking for work. He's 20 years old. He lives in Lauderhill with his uncle. He's going to be contacting his family member who works in a movie theater. But unfortunately, I spoke ahead of myself, or the person that he wants to call is his cousin who works in a movie theater. But unfortunately, when he was arrested, his phone has no battery left in it. As you know, here there's a policy as far as not being able to recharge your telephone. So right now he has no way of contacting anyone to help post his bond, specifically his cousin who works at the movie theater. Judge, I'd ask you at this time to consider releasing Mr. Orholm on standard pretrial release. He did talk to me a little bit about the facts. I didn't have a chance to review the PC affidavit. My understanding is that the law enforcement vehicle that we were talking about is not a road patrol vehicle or anything like that. It's an unmarked Infiniti GL. Therefore, he's going to have his day in court to contest whether or not he knew that that person was actually a law enforcement officer. So, Judge, considering Mr. Orholm has no way of contacting anyone to post his bond, I'd ask you for pretrial release.
State, any response?
Problem with Mr. Romero's argument is that at some point both officers activated their emergency lights and it didn't stop there.
Okay, this is what the court's gonna do. $1,000 bond on count 1, 2, and 3, I don't need to set a bond. Court is gonna do standard pretrial supervision on count 1 only. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Annabelle Lyra, please.
Good morning.
Hello, sir. You have,
Judge, we'd be waiving formal reading of the charge.
all right, so, sir, you have 1 count. State, what are you requesting on count 1 and any special conditions?
Your Honor,
Court does find probable cause, by the way.
just to advise the court, Mr. Lira has a prior disorderly intoxication at a date counting 2013, possession of cannabis 2010 at a date. Frankly, I'm not very concerned about his criminal history. I'm greatly concerned based on the allegations and also the strength of the evidence against him based on the probable cause affidavit. I'm going to be requesting a $75,000 bond on count 1. No victim contact, pretrial release with a GPS monitor, level 2.
Okay, what's the alleged victim's initials?
AF. AF.
Okay, sir, the court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, and I want you to listen to me because it's very important. You are to have no contact with AF or and AF's family. You are to maintain 1 mile at all time from AF's work, or not work, home, school, and work, if any. I'll put work in there just in case. No victim contact, direct or indirect, sir, means no contact in person, no contact calling, texting, no communication through third parties, nothing on social media whatsoever. No contact means no contact, sir. Court is going to do GPS level 2. Defense, what is your response as far as bond?
Judge, as you heard, he has minimal contact with the criminal justice system. I believe 2 prior misdemeanor offenses. From what Mr. Lira advised me, he appeared to every one of his single court dates, no failure to appears. He's 31 years old. He's a graduate of Hialeah Miami Lakes, class of 2005. He did attend the Art Institute of Miami. Right now, he is currently employed. He works as a barber at a location called Cut It Up. He's been there for about 5 years, making about $350 per week. He lives in Hialeah with his mother. Her mother is a nanny. Their rent is about $1,500 per month, and he's been residing at that same location for the past 5 years. From what he advised me, he owns no property. He's going to be contacting his mother to help post his monetary bond. What the state has suggested as far as the bond is something he cannot afford. We'd be asking you to set somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 on Mr. Lira's behalf. He has strong ties to the community. He will be appearing in court. So, Judge, we believe that's reasonable at this time, considering he is presumed innocent at this time.
All right, based on the allegations and the totality of the circumstances, court is going to impose a bond of $75,000. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Joel St. Hilaire.
Mr. St. Hilaire, come on up, please. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You have count 1, grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance. There's no bond attached to that. The court does find probable cause.
I would state, Judge, that there is no probable cause for count 1.
For the grand
car-
theft?
That's correct, the grand theft auto. There is evidence that Mr. St. Hilaire was in the car because he was seen, I guess, exiting it. I don't know who was driving the car. There were 3 other people with him. There's nothing in here to indicate that he had knowledge that this car was stolen. There's no indication that he stole the car. This is a mere presence type of case where Mr. St. Hilaire is inside a stolen vehicle, but there is nothing to indicate that he knew that or should have known that it was stolen.
State, what's your response?
Your Honor,
I'm leaning towards Mr. Reedy's position, so.
Your Honor, I would argue that Mr. St. Hilaire and his co-defendant's actions, for probable cause purposes, exhibit a consciousness of guilt. Immediately, one moment, Your Honor.
Take your time. I know it says that they were running.
That they separated and running immediately upon contact with law enforcement, Your Honor. I think that does it. They were connected to the vehicle, Your Honor.
I agree. Court does find probable cause.
I over our
appreciate-
objection, Judge, I just
understand.
don't see it here at all.
But I do, as far as bond or release conditions, I certainly understand and appreciate Mr. Reedy's argument.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Romero, go ahead.
Judge, he's going to contact, he actually gave me the phone number of his family for me to contact. The only thing I'd ask for is maybe considering it's probably going to just be charged as a trespass, that the court consider reducing it to $100, or in the alternative, just leave it alone.
$100. Let me just
Thank you.
verify. 1891 Northwest 81st Ave, apartment 303, North Lauderdale.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Look for your court date. Taldo Fenilis.
Mr. Fenilis is here present, Judge.
All right, Mr. Fenilis, you have a grand theft auto, $1,000 bond, resisting an officer without violence, trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance. Is this co-defendant?
Yes, Your Honor, and I would make the same argument on Mr. Finellis' behalf as I did for Mr. St. Hilaire. Again, it's unclear from this report who was driving this vehicle.
Okay. All right, court's going to maintain their prior ruling, yes?
Did you find probable cause?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, this current charge, new charge violates his condition of pretrial. This is Jackson from pretrial, Your Honor. Case number 18-00236-0 CF10A. He was placed on pretrial on April 24th. April 25th, I apologize, by Judge Rothschild for charges grand theft and operating without a valid driver's license.
It was grand theft auto, Judge.
Grand theft auto, I apologize, grand theft auto, motor vehicle.
Okay.
Judge, I'd ask you at this time to not take any action on the case that he's currently out on. You heard as far as my colleague's mitigating argument. I'd ask you at this time just to leave the bond and everything in place, Judge.
All right, court is gonna revoke his pretrial due $1,000 bond, case number 182360 CF10A. On count 1, the grand theft auto. On count 2, for the operating without a valid DL, and this is in that other case, court's gonna do an ROR. Would you like me to give this to you or the clerk? Okay, and in this case, court's gonna leave the bond at $1,000 on count 1 and counts 2 and 3. I don't need to set a bond. Thank you.
What bond did you set on the pretrial release case, Judge?
1,000. Thank you. Okay, Jonathan Taylor. Maybe you can help me state with this. I didn't see anything with the perjury. Maybe I missed it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Court does find probable cause.
I would expect any finding of probable cause for perjury in an official proceeding, Judge. I think this is more of a question for a finder of fact than it is a legal charge. He does not give any inconsistent statements at all. He is very consistent in everything that he says when he's being questioned by Judge Pohl or the prosecutor in the case. He consistently says, I was in the driver's seat, I was driving. At no point in time does he contradict that statement and later say, no, I was not driving or someone else was driving. We don't have this video to look at, so we don't know who was driving. And this is not a perjury situation where a person says it was blue one day and says it was red the next day. This is a question of fact to be determined at a future time as to who was behind the wheel of that car. And I would urge the court not to find probable cause for perjury. And as far as grand theft is concerned,
It's actually a capias, not in custody.
yeah, it is not in custody capias.
Go ahead, your argument is the.
No, that's all I have, Judge.
Okay. All right, court does find probable cause, so let's talk about bond. It's $1,000 each count.
Well, Your Honor, frankly, I'm going to be asking for a $10,000 bond on count 2. Not only based on these allegations, but his criminal history. I'll start with these allegations. Sorry, but I completely disagree with Mr. Reedy's argument about these allegations. It's not about inconsistent statements. It's flat out lie under oath to a judge in order to get his girlfriend out of custody. Specifically, he was asked, Was she in the passenger seat at the time the police officers drove up? Under oath, yes, sir. The officer and the sworn report said he reviewed the body-worn camera. He was not in the
He
driver's seat.
also said he reviewed the transcript of Judge Poll's proceedings.
Exactly. He was not in the driver's seat when the officer showed up. His girlfriend was. And that's just one example. I think the evidence couldn't be stronger, Your Honor. There's no reason to doubt this detective's sworn report. He reviewed the video evidence, and Mr. Taylor flatly lied to a county court judge under oath and was advised of the potential penalties of perjury. He compromised the integrity of the judicial process. Additionally, his criminal history is 2017, Grand Theft Auto. He was just released. He was sentenced to 364 days. He was released from custody January of this year. A possession of substituted cathinones. He was out of custody when he got arrested for the Grand Theft Auto and had his bond revoked in that case. He got sentenced to 364 days. 2015, burglary of a conveyance and theft, 180 days county jail. 2010, felony battery, domestic violence by strangulation, possession of firearm or ammunition by convicted felon with a violation of probation. 2008, possession of firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon. And, Your Honor, I have to imagine Mr. Romero is going to be providing you with information about ties to the community and financial resources, information that I would have to imagine Mr. Taylor would have provided himself. Based on these allegations and the strength of the evidence, I think the court has to take that information with a grain of salt. I question whether the court can just take Mr. Taylor's word at this point, considering there is strong evidence that he lied under oath to a county court judge.
I have seen no evidence that Mr. Taylor lied under oath. The state says there's no reason not to believe this detective. There's no reason to believe this detective either. And for the state to be asking for such an incredibly high bond in a case like this, when they fail to provide this court with any evidence whatsoever, other than a sworn statement from a person that we don't even know and never heard of before, and cannot gauge his credibility, this is a question that needs to be decided in a different forum, not in a magistrate court, and we do renew our objection to the court finding probable cause for perjury. Also, there's no indication that Mr. Taylor was ever driving, I guess it's a Grand Theft Auto was count one, or is it the stolen stuff from the store?
The target.
The target.
Yeah, that's what it's for the grand theft. I'm gonna find it on counts 1 and 2. I understand and appreciate your argument. Thank you very much, Mr. Reedy. There's no return to target. 11253 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Anything further, Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge. What we were going to be asking you on count 2 was considering my colleague's argument to release Mr. Taylor Arwar in that case, just leaving the standard bond in place on count 1 of $1,000. Now, I do understand the state's concern and Mr. Taylor's objection. Judge, I'd ask you at this time to take everything into account, and basically then maybe the reasonable thing to do is just basically leave the standard bond in place of $1,000 on 1 and $1,000 on 2.
1,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2. No return to the target, sir. 11253. Pembroke Pines, you go back there to that target, sir. You know what's going to happen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to get arrested. Don't return there. Thank you. Good luck to you.
You're welcome.
All right, Morel Jones, please.
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. You are one of the co-defendants as well. Court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no return, sir, to the target located at 11253 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. You understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that I just told what I told your co-defendant? You return to that target, sir. You're going to be arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court does find probable cause. Bond set at $1,000. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, I'd ask you to consider an RR on Mr. Jones' behalf.
Okay, State, does he have any priors?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's his, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's okay. 2017 grand theft.
Okay,
2014 resisting with violence, battery, and criminal mischief. 25 months state prison.
$1,000 bond or standard pretrial release, supervision?
$1,000 bond, Judge.
Thank you, $1,000 bond. So let me just confirm your address for future court dates.
She's gonna say your address, make sure it's the correct one, okay?
1080 Northwest 25th Ave, Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, look for your court date. You don't want to miss it. You'll have a warrant for your arrest. Thank you.
I'll
Kershaw
call your wife
Kennedy.
after court, okay?
You gonna call him?
Yeah, I'll call.
Kershaw Kennedy, please.
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you, sir? Okay, sir, you have carrying concealed firearm, $1,000 bond. Count 2, possession of cocaine. Court does find probable cause. Anybody wish to be heard?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, is your address 2700 Northwest 9th Court, North Lauderdale?
No, ma'am.
All right, $1,000 bond on each one. Good luck to you, sir.
I'll contact your cousin right after court, okay?
Kevin Hager, Haggar.
Mr. Hager?
Hello, Mr. Hager, how are you today? Mr. Hager, you have drug paraphernalia manufacture or deliver, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Is your address 21072 Country Creek Drive, Boca Raton?
Yes.
All right, anybody wish to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
No, Judge.
All right, $1,000 bond it is, thank you. Next one is Brandon Forrester.
Mr. Forrester, come on up, please.
Come on up, Mr. Forrester. I think he's sleeping behind you. Good morning, Mr. Forrester.
Good morning.
Okay, sir, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. All these, you have counts 1, 2, and 3, all $1,000 bond. Count 2 is fraud, utter a false instrument, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. Total of $3,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Sir, is your address 824 Northwest 10th Ave, number 4,
Yes, ma'am.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state. Defense?
Judge, we're gonna be requesting Mr. Forrester be released on pretrial release. I'll see if the state has an objection.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will put him on ROR per state and defense. Okay, Mr. Forrester, you have to report within 24 hours of your release. The court's gonna put you on standard pretrial supervision. Make sure you report when you get out of jail. If you don't get out today by 3 p.m., then you have to report tomorrow by 12, okay? Thank you. Anthony Mitchell, please.
Mr. Mitchell, come on up, please.
24 hours to show up after release. Anthony Mitchell?
Yes, Ms. Garrett.
Okay, good morning, sir. You have one count of committed third-degree felony with a weapon. Bond is $3,500. State wants to make an announcement.
I'm just gonna be asking that the court find probable cause for aggravated battery. It's either way, it's a second-degree felony, and I suspect that's what this officer was going for here.
All right, so court's gonna find per state. Is that okay with you, defense? You have any objection?
Well, my thought, Judge,
aggravated
is that this
battery?
guy calls him a name and he gets hit in the head with a stick. It sounds to me like
It says
there's
began
some very
bludgeoning.
mitigating circumstances here. I'm trying to look up the victim's prior criminal history to see if I can find out his size. But I do know that Mr. Mitchell is 5'3" and 120 pounds. I don't know how big the alleged victim in the case is.
But it says here, the defendant produced a stick and began bludgeoning
Yes,
the
after
alleged victim, striking him in the head.
Yes, after he called him the N-word.
And that is Mr. Mitchell's version. 2, he didn't claim after he threatened me physically, I acted in self-defense. So I don't see how the size or the victim, whether he may have a history, is relevant. And either way, even if he did call him a name, and I'm not excusing that, but we also don't know whether that happened or not, that doesn't, and Mr. Reedy's aware, that doesn't wouldn't defeat probable cause.
No, but I find it interesting, a few cases ago, we're all supposed to believe this detective that we've never met, but when it comes to believing Mr. Mitchell, that apparently it can't be done.
All right, PC for aggravated battery. Anybody wish to be heard?
Judge, yes, Mr. Mitchell, unfortunately, he's homeless at this time. He's not working. He's 51 years old. He does have a mailing address. He gets mail at a local church here in Fort Lauderdale.
Is that the
Judge,
one
there's
Northwest 33rd Terrace, Fort Lauderdale?
Is that the address of the church or no? No, Judge.
3550.
30. Do you have the full address? 3550.
3550. Davy Boulevard.
Davy Boulevard. And that's in Fort Lauderdale? Davy Boulevard? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. Judge, the address is 3550 Davy Boulevard.
Yeah, I had the same question as you, is whether that was Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I thought I had it in mute, sorry. Judge, so there's no one that's going to be able to post his bond. Mr. Mitchell is looking forward to staying in court. From our position, he was probably the victim of a hate crime, Judge. So at this time, Judge, we'd be asking you to consider releasing Mr. Mitchell on pretrial release.
Your Honor, I would just, I'm going to be requesting that the court keep the bond in place or set some bond. He was arrested a few months ago on a battery on a random person that was dropped in May. 2016, he was convicted of battery and sentenced to 270 days in county jail. 2013, he was convicted of assault.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will do $1,000 bond on one standard pretrial supervision. He has to report within 24 hours. Explain that to him, if you would, please, Mr. Romero.
Yeah, sure, 1 moment then.
Okay, Luis Chaparro, step up, please.
Medical reset.
Evelyn Alchemy,
Mr. Alchemy, come on up, please.
is that how you say your last name, sir?
No, man, Evelyn Alcine.
Alcime, okay, I'm sorry about that.
Your Honor, I'm going to be asking that this matter be reset for tomorrow morning. I've spoken with Detective Torres. He's going to be presenting me with a supplemental report with some additional information that I think the court will need to make a finding.
All right, well, right now the bonds are $5,000, $7,500, $2,500, and $7,500. So if you can bond out on those.
He's not going to be able to bond out, Judge. We were ultimately going to be asking you to consider a reduction in bond on counts 1, 2, and 3 alone.
What's the
or 1, 2, and
objection?
4 alone.
Sorry about that. You want additional time for what? To have the officer testify so I can find probable cause?
Yes.
To what counts?
All of them.
Okay. All right, the court will give the state 24 hours to perfect.
Court is not making a finding of probable cause at this time.
No. Thank you. Next one is Dimitri Nozzle.
That's a medical reset here.
Okay.
Oh, is he there?
Dimitri Nozzle.
Mr. Nozzle is medical loan, Judge.
Okay. Dilly Mitchell.
Your Honor,
Yes.
my understanding is he was scheduled for arraignment. I spoke to the ASA that's handling this case.
Says please add to magistrate docket for tomorrow.
For tomorrow? Because I was.
Which is today.
Okay.
It's an ad charge.
I don't know that Mr. Reedy will have an objection. On this case, we filed an amended information which created this ad charge. Judge Lynch recently, I think within the past few weeks, on the top 2 counts, ROR'd him to pretrial release level 1. No.
ROR'd him?
Yes. I don't know what was discussed, but level 1 pretrial with the GPS, no contact with the victim, no contact.
Well, where is he?
He's being arraigned. And that's why I spoke to the ASA, she doesn't have any problem with the court setting the same, our warrant to the same bond and release conditions that he's already been instructed of on this
No,
count.
for this charge, he's gonna have to come. Let's reset it for either this afternoon or today.
Whichever.
Doesn't matter to me.
If we can get him here this afternoon, I'd like to
All
get him here
right,
this
how do
afternoon.
we get him here this afternoon? He's probably at the main jail, so we'll reset for the AM, I mean, the PM, yeah.
Judge, what individual are you referring to reset? So I can inform the deputies, because we couldn't hear anything.
Dilly Mitchell, he's in Judge Lynch's division, it's the amended information.
Judge, I'm being advised he's a medical loan. No? Dilly Mitchell on page 21.
Who's the one with the one that we just, who's the one I just handed you?
Medical.
Dilly Mitchell.
Let me check.
Supposedly he's in front of Judge Lynch.
I'm not showing he's on.
All right, well, they'll find it out in one moment. Let's just continue. Evelyn Alsimi, we just did. What do I have? Two of them. Alsimi, I have another one. Didn't I just do Alsimi?
Yes, you reset that.
You reset him for
There's two of them.
No, I passed that back to your son. You didn't sign.
Oh. Well, there's no, no, because I wrote on here, no piece, 24 hours to perfect.
Right.
Okay, I see where you did it, okay. Thank you, I understand.
Your Honor, Dilly Mitchell's not on loan.
What?
Dilly Mitchell's not on loan.
You wanna reset them?
We're resetting Dilly Mitchell.
The
The one before that was a medical loan. Who was that? What's their name?
Nozzle.
Nozel. Demeters Marshall.
He's approaching, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Marshall, how are you today, sir? You have battery, second or subsequent offense. Court does find probable cause. Says change of charge from touch or strike battery, domestic violence, a first-degree misdemeanor to a,
Felony battery, second or subsequent.
so this is a Judge Cohen case too?
Yes, he actually handled the first appearance, Your Honor,
Okay.
and set the bond.
This is actually, okay.
He set the bond originally at $5,000. I have to believe that not only was Judge Cohen made aware of his criminal history and the prior battery, but also his financial resources.
Well, this says misdemeanor upgrade, so he thought it was talking about Judge Cohen or Judge Usan?
No, Your Honor, Judge Cohen.
Okay.
He handled the first appearance because he also has VOP holds. So because there were felony VOP holds, they brought the entire case to Judge Cohen for the first appearance. He set the bond at $5,000. I'm asking that the bond be kept at $5,000 because I'm confident that Judge Cohen was aware of his criminal history.
What are the special conditions Judge Cohen wanted?
That I will just need one moment. He said at $5,000 and no victim contact. I'm going to request if the clerk could prepare a new no contact order because that no contact order was attached to the misdemeanor case. And I'll provide.
Okay, what's the alleged victim's initials?
The initials are MJ, and I'll provide the clerk with the full name so she can do the order.
Okay, defense, what say you?
Judge, considering as a no bond hold on a VOP, I mean, he's going to have to go in front of a division judge anyway.
Okay. Right, I'll do it without prejudice. Since no bond hold. Okay, so no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials MJ. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court's gonna set bond at $5,000 on count one. And Madam Clerk, I took this off because it was stapled upside down.
Yeah.
You just have to staple it, the capias.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That one's done.
All right, and what are we doing with Mishka Josephs?
That's the one where Judge C.
I know, but we needed to find out what he did. Let me see. Did she send us an email?
No, just give me
She gave you what?
the inquiry clerk's extension.
Hi. It's Kim Malika. Good. No. Or they could have, but. Okay, do you have a number, Michelle? Michelle's now telling me there's a
Joseph,
number.
aren't we, oh, 1661, I
Yeah,
think it was?
I'll call right now, and if I can't get them, I'll call you back, okay? Thank you, bye-bye. What's the number?
1661.
Hi, this is Judge Malika, Magistrate Court, how are you? No, I wanted to find out what happened with Mishka Josephs.
See you guys later.
On the grand theft? Because it's $1,000 bond normally. Okay, and what if the probation violations are still no bond? Okay, any special conditions? Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, thank you, bye-bye. All right, count one on Mishka Josephs, which was before Judge Siegel. The grand theft between $300 and $5,000, he did a $1,500 bond. Counts 2 and 3, the no bond holds, I don't know what he did with them. Let me call her back and just ask her fast, just to make sure. You can go, Mr. Romero's here. We'll let you go early one time. We'll make Mr. Romero stay. Hi, it's Judge Malika again. What happened with the probation violations? Okay, so he's going August 2nd at, okay, did he leave him a no bond holds? No, I mean, did he magistrate them on the violations of probation? Okay, so 2 no bond holds on counts 2 and 3 remain. Yeah, there's counts 2 and 3, there's 2 of them. Okay, thank you. All right, bye-bye. All right, I've been told $1,500 bond on 1, counts 2 and 3, the probation violations, no bond holds are kept in place. August 2nd is the new date for the final hearing.
Well, we don't need that, cause.
All right, I'm just writing it on here. Okay, thank you. We'll see you at 1, unless you need more time.
You changed the bond on the fine?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
interview about Jared Allegria. I read Allegria his Miranda rights. I think during his first Miranda statement camp, I think yeah. But,
Say?
yeah, no, it's okay. I just want to let you know. Hold on one second. Let me just check something. Okay, I didn't know if you could just prepare a quick supplement, or take your original PC and add to it.
Pass everything. Not for us, but downtown. Not off.
I understand. Are you working tomorrow?
Better than white. The white with the black lettering looks better.
If I need you to, would you?
I'm gonna remove it.
Now she over there at 160, ain't been here a couple of years, you know she ain't.
This one?
Okay, and morning would be better. What would be better for you, morning or afternoon?
She declined because she has a child.
Okay, so what I'll do is, if I need you, obviously I'll get in touch with you, and I'll have it. Sounds good. All right. Either way, I'll call you and let you know what's going on. All right. Thanks, Dave.
Your name shown.
Okay, so whichever you think,
I think we can.